Gadadha Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So continue reading from Srimad Bhagavatam. We are on Canto 3, Chapter 24, Text 43. Mano Brahmni Yunjano Yattad Sad Asataha Param Guna Vabhase Viguna Eka Bhaktyanu. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. He fixed his mind upon the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Parabrahman, who is beyond cause and effect, who manifests the three modes of material nature, who is beyond those three modes, and who is perceived only through unfailing devotional service. So Kardama Muni, he's not fixing his mind on nothing, not on a void. He's fixing his mind on the Supreme Lord, on the Super Soul. He is fixing. So it's shown here that the yogi, the bona fide yogi, it's not that he thinks of nothing, but he thinks of the Supreme Lord. He fixes in samadhi on the Supreme Lord. I'm sorry, who's beyond cause and effect, means his laws of karma don't apply on him. The laws of karma do not apply on the Supreme Lord. He is transcendental. He's absolute, on the absolute platform. And the three modes of material nature come from him, but they cannot affect him. They don't entangle him. They don't influence him. Like the cloud is made by the sun, right? The sun evaporates the water from the ocean, and then that water becomes the cloud. So the sun is the cause of the cloud, but the cloud can never cover the sun. The cloud can only cover our vision of the sun. When we say it's a cloudy day, it's covering our vision of the sun, but the cloud cannot cover the sun in itself. The same way, Krishna, the three modes of nature come from him. He makes them, but they don't influence him. That's why I said beyond those three modes, and who is perceived only through unfailing devotional service. To perceive the Supreme Lord, because he's spiritual, he's completely pure. And right now our consciousness is covered. Our consciousness is covered by so many things, and we are thinking we are the body. So how do we uncover this pure consciousness of ours? Through unfailing devotional service. So purport by Srila Prabhupada: whenever there is bhakti, there must be three things present: the devotee, the devotion, and the Lord. So bhakti is three things are there: the devotee, and he has the devotion for the Lord. Without these three, bhakti, bhakta, bhakti, and Bhagwan, there is no meaning to the word bhakti. Kardama Muni fixed his mind on the Supreme Brahman and realized him through bhakti or devotional service. Realize the Supreme Lord through devotional service. This indicates that he fixed his mind on the personal feature of the Lord, because bhakti cannot be executed unless one has a realization of the personal feature of the absolute truth. Guna vabhase. He is beyond the three modes of material nature, but it is due to him that the three modes of material nature are manifested. In other words, although the material energy is an emanation of the Supreme Lord, he is not affected as we are by the modes of material nature. We are conditioned souls, but he is not affected, although the material nature has emanated from him. So as we just spoke, that the clouds can never cover the sun. It can cover only our vision of the sun. Similarly, the Supreme Lord is not influenced in any way by the modes of nature. What are the modes of nature? Goodness, passion, ignorance. They are That is how Mother Nature is bound us against under these three modes. And we are conditioned, we want to enjoy this material world. We are attached to this material world. So we are under their control. He is the supreme living entity, and he's never affected by Maya, but we are subordinate, minute living entities, prone to be affected by the limitations of Maya. So he's supreme. He's supreme living entity, so Maya can never influence him. But we are minute living entities, so we get easily covered by Maya. If he is in constant contact with the Supreme Lord by devotional service, the conditioned living entity also becomes freed from the infection of Maya. This is confirmed in Bhagavad Gita, Sa gunan samatitya. A person engaged in Krishna consciousness is at once liberated from the influence of the three modes of material nature. In other words, once the conditioned soul engages himself in devotional service, he also becomes liberated like the Lord. So right now we are conditioned, we are thinking we are the body. So, but that is not our true position. How can we get liberated from this position? By engaging in devotional service. At once, it said a person engaged in Krishna consciousness, at once he becomes liberated like the Lord. So, any questions or comments? Sorry.
Doing now, after he has taken sannyas, now he's going again and again he did this, right? Previously, he also went into, right?
Yeah, before
that was,
yeah.
So he also had Krishna's vision, and then he got married and he was instructed. So now this is the second time in the sannyas that he's doing this again.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, because he's a devotee. He wants to be with the Lord. He wants to fix his mind on the Supreme Lord. And fixing the mind on the Supreme Lord, because the Lord is absolute, then he's associating with the Lord. But matter is not absolute. Matter, when we are thinking of water, but we are not actually drinking the water. Our thirst is not being quenched. But when we are thinking of the Supreme Lord, because the Lord is absolute, we are associating with him. And in that association, we are getting purified. Our consciousness is getting purified. We are getting on more and more the qualities, divine qualities, as is truly inherent in us. That's who we truly are.
And in spite of the Lord, like he's appeared in his family, in his home, but still he left because he wanted to follow the Vedic laws.
Yes, to set the example. That's right. Thank you. Yes, because we read here that why did he leave? The Lord is here. He can see the Lord is
right.
But to set the example. Yeah. So then reading on, Nirahang Kritir Nirmamascha Nirdvandvaha Samadrik Swadrik Pratyak Prashanta Dhir Dhiraha Prashantor Mir Ivodadihi. Thus, he gradually became unaffected by the false ego of material identity and became free from material affection, undisturbed, equal to everyone, and without duality. He could indeed see himself also. His mind was turned inward, and he was perfectly calm, like an ocean, unagitated by waves. So this is the point of liberation. He's no more thinking he's the body. Gradually became unaffected by the false ego of material identity. So we are spirit souls, right? We are spirit souls. Why do we think we are the body? What is it that makes us think we are the body?
Because we are conditioned.
Yeah, but what is that makes us conditioned?
The way our
what I've highlighted here.
Our desire,
False ego.
Yeah.
false ego and our desire to turn away from Krishna.
Oh, yes, that is the original thing. That because of the desire to become Krishna, we come to this material world. But now that we are souls, and still we are thinking, hey, I'm the body, we are not able to understand we are the soul. Why? Because of this false ego. The false ego is there. So now Kardama Muni, he has, because he's engaging in devotional service, his false ego is become dissolved. So false ego is also a material element. We are going to be hearing now, Kapila Muni is going to be talking about it. It's very subtle, but it is a material element. Very subtle, very subtle. And so he became undisturbed and equal to everyone without duality. Means he's on the platform of the Brahman. He's on the liberated platform. He understands now, no more false ego. He's completely understood. I am the soul. I'm not the body. So that's how he's able to see himself. Means he's realized his own true position. So undisturbed, equal. That is, we have that verse, Bhagavad Gita 1854, that Brahma Bhuta Prasanatma na sochati na kankshati sama sarveshu bhuteshu mad bhaktim labate param. Sama sarveshu bhuteshu, equal to everyone. Na sochati na kankshati, undisturbed, without duality. And then Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita that at that point one can get pure devotional service to me. Pure means not mixed with the modes, not mixed. When one's mind is in full Krishna consciousness and one fully engages in rendering devotional service to the Lord, he becomes just like an ocean, unagitated by waves. This very example is also cited in Bhagavad Gita. One should become like the ocean. The ocean is filled by many thousands of rivers and millions of tons of its water evaporated into clouds. Yet the ocean is the same unagitated ocean. So it's amazing, how the rivers, so many rivers keep on flowing into the ocean, but the ocean doesn't overflow. Of course, you might say, okay, it's when there's a tsunami, but that is like when does that happen? A real imbalance. But in our normal day-to-day life, the rivers are gushing into the ocean, but the ocean never overflows. Krishna says this in Bhagavad Gita. He gives this example to Arjuna. The laws of nature may work, but if one is fixed in devotional service at the lotus feet of the Lord, he is not agitated, for he is introspective. He does not look outside to material nature, but he looks into the spiritual nature of his existence with a sober mind. He simply engages in the service of the Lord. So even though he is in the material body, he is on the liberated platform. He's a liberated soul, even though he's in the body, because his mind, his consciousness is fixed on the lotus feet of Krishna. What happens when we see anything? We see, because we are materially conscious, we are eye conscious right now. So we see everything, we say, this is for my enjoyment. And that's how we get agitated. Let me do this, I'll be happy. Let me do that, I will get this, and then I will be happy. But a liberated soul, a pure devotee, his consciousness is fixed on Krishna. So anything he sees, for him, he understands, oh, it belongs to Krishna. I will use it in Krishna's service. That's also, he does not have his personal agenda in it. He has no personal interest in it, but he looks at everything. Oh yes, it belongs to Krishna. So his mind is very calm. His mind is sober. Thus he realizes his own self without false identification with matter and without affection for material possessions. Here, a pure devotee realizes himself without false identification with matter and without affection for material possessions. And we, the conditioned souls, are totally identifying ourselves with matter, right? We always think we are the body. Our consciousness is all with the body. Our mind is only filled with matter. We think we are the body. We think, yeah, that's all we are. And we think whatever is in our possession belongs to us. So, but the pure devotee, no, he's not on that platform. This is the difference between a conditioned soul and a pure devotee of the Lord. This is the difference. So such a great devotee is never in trouble with others because he sees everyone from the platform of spiritual understanding. He sees himself and others in the right perspective. So because he has truly realized his own position, and so he's able to see everyone also in that proper perspective. Like how if the window is dirty, we can't see properly, right? But when we clean the window, everything becomes clear. So the conditioned soul, the window is dirty. How to clean the window so that we can see everything in right perspective? Anyone?
By hearing and chanting.
That's right. Thank you. Yes. Continue to hear and chant. Right? The consciousness will be purified. Will be. Because Krishna is absolute. When we are hearing about Krishna, we are associating with Krishna. When we are chanting Krishna's names, we are associating with Krishna. And Krishna is completely pure. So association is very important. What or who we associate with, we take that nature. We take that nature. So the more we hear and chant, we are taking on, because we are associating with Krishna and Krishna is completely pure, then we get purified. We get more and more in our original consciousness. Yeah. Any comments or questions?
And in Bhagavad Gita 10th chapter, Lord Krishna also says that he is Vibhuti in the form of Sagar. Sarasam Asmi Sagar.
Oh, yes. Yes.
Yeah.
His vibhutis are mentioned in the 10th chapter. Yes.
The ocean is not agitated by the waves. You can say like samudra होता है तो उसको बोलते हैं समुद्रों की जो लहरें होती है वो लहरें समुद्र की हो सकती है लेकिन समुद्र लहरों का नहीं बोला जा सकता है. The waves of the ocean are of the ocean, but the जैसे बोलते हैं ना कि भाई समुद्र की लहरें बोलते हैं, लहरों का समुद्र नहीं बोलते कभी. तो हम भगवान के हैं.
Yes.
भगवान.
Oh, yes.
Yeah,
very good.
Yeah.
Very good. Very good point. Yeah. Very good. We are, yeah. Like
हम भगवान के हैं, भगवान हमारे हैं, हम भगवान, हमको भगवान का होना है, like that. You can put it like that.
Yeah, yeah, but we are part of the whole.
We are part of Krishna, but we are not Krishna.
We are not Krishna. Very good. Yeah, we are not the whole ocean.
Yes.
You know, we are part of that.
We are part and parcels of the whole.
Part and parcel of the whole. Yes, that's right. Thank you. Thank you. Or as it's said, the sun and the sunshine. We are not the sun, but we are the sunshine. Although there is no separation. When there is sun, there has to be sunshine.
Yeah.
Prabhupada would give that example because the Vedas give that example.
Yeah.
Oh, we are drop.
Yeah. Part and parcel of Krishna. So when Krishna is, we are all Krishna's part and parcel. So does it mean that Krishna is now no more exists? Everyone became their tiny, tiny parts. So there's no more original Krishna. Does it mean that?
No.
Why?
No. You said that if
because we are just part and parcel of Krishna, we are not the whole.
Yes. So because somebody might come up and tell you, hey, you know, you take a cake and you cut it in 20 parts. So then the cake is not there anymore. There are only 20 parts of the cake. What do you do?
This is spiritual. We are talking, we have to see it from that is the spiritual level.
That's the
and
point.
we see things on the material level.
That's the point. That's the point.
We don't have the chakshu to see the spiritual things. That's why we think, and in the spiritual world, 1 + 1 is like, you know, in the material world, 1 + 1 is 2. But in the spiritual world, 2 + 2 is also one and everything, like it's different.
Yeah, because it's on the, why is it different?
Because it's on the spiritual level, it's
Yes,
transcendental.
because it's, yes, and because it's spiritual, it's absolute.
It's absolute truth, right?
It's absolute. It's on the absolute platform. A cake is not on the absolute platform. But the Supreme Lord, he's absolute. Spirituality, spiritual world is on the absolute platform. So that's the reason. So reading on. Vasudeve Bhagavate Sarvage Pratyag Atmane Pare Parena Bhakti Bhavena Labdhatma Mukta Bandhanaha. Thus he became liberated from conditioned life and became situated in transcendental devotional service to the personality of Godhead, Vasudev, the omniscient super soul within everyone. When one engages in the transcendental devotional service of the Lord, one becomes aware that his constitutional position as an individual soul is to be eternally a servitor of the Supreme Lord, Vasudev. So what happens? When one engages in transcendental devotional service of the Lord, one becomes aware that his constitutional position as an individual soul is to be eternally a servitor of the Supreme Lord, Vasudev. Then, this is trying to say that when we engage in loving, when we engage in devotional service, we will be situated in our original platform. And our original platform is that we are an individual soul, and I'm an eternal servitor of the Supreme Lord. And very clearly his name is given, that the Lord's name is Vasudev. But then one might say that I'm no servant. Why should I be anyone's servant? I'm independent. I don't serve anyone. Why am I going to go through so much trouble and think that I'm the servant? For what? What do you say to that?
That is our original position, that we are always serving. As a living entity, I think that's what we do. Even in materially also we serve. We serve our family. We serve food to our family. We are serving.
Yes, that's the point.
Right?
We always serve the one we love.
Yeah, but even if not love, even if we become like a president of the country, so like really powerful. But what's the position of the president of the country? He's in fact supposed to be the servant of all the citizens of the country. Not that, oh, because I'm the president, then everybody serves me. Then that's a dictator. But when somebody's taking a true position, then the more responsibility, the more services you do. Right? The Spider-Man, he says, greater responsibility comes, what's that? With great power comes great responsibility. So what is that responsibility? We serve. That is the Sanatan Dharma. If we see the Sanatan Dharma, what is it that differentiates a living entity from a dead body? What is the difference?
Consciousness, the soul that we have.
Yeah.
The living entity has the soul, Paramatma and Atma, and the dead body doesn't have that.
And so when the consciousness is not in the dead body, can it move?
No.
Can it do anything?
No.
So that means matter can't do anything. But that means the nature of the spirit soul, the consciousness, is always to be active, always active, always doing something. And then that activity is service. And in the pure form, I'm sorry?
No, the soul cannot, sit idle.
Yeah, can't sit idle. And so in the pure form, that service is from a place of love. But in the material world, that service is from a place of lust. That's what happens. When our consciousness is, right now we are in the material world, so our service is from a place of lust. Why? I will enjoy myself. I will do this, I will be happy. But on the absolute platform, it's from the place of love. There is no lust involved. There is no manipulation. It's just love, just love. There's no duality. So that's why.
That's why it says, right? God is love.
Yes, they say that God is God is full of love. God is full of love for us. And we also have that love for him. God is full of love for us. Yeah, he's very loving. So shall we stop here for today? This might take a little while and we can continue with this tomorrow.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you so much for listening in and joining in. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. Hare Krishna.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna.